Good morning, I'm Lacey Shippey on the Rural Radio Network, and it's time to take a look at our midday livestock trade with livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. And Kyle, we had a really rough, choppy start to our morning, but we found a little bit of support here. What do you think is taking us to the upside all of a sudden?
That's a very good question, Lacey. There's no headlines out there to really give us any good algo-type trade here that's making this move here. I will say that it was on very, very light volume here as far as both the feeders and the live cattle move. Now, it's a little bit of perplexing here. We got some index moves here that are going to happen here, that happened here overnight, and what's going to be happening here later this week with the feeder cattle index. The index today looks like it's projected to be down $2.20 around that 365.41. The daily number going in that is 360.90 on 4,496 head. The question is how is the board going to react when we see Bassett and some of these bigger sales that we had last week go off the board? That we could lose $2 to $3 just when those sales finally fall off that index here from last week. Now on the live cattle side of things here, we're mixed. We're down a nickel here in the October. Dees up 32 cents, Feb up 17, and the April up 37 as well. But on this rally here, both feeders and live cattle, we've seen a lot of commercial pressure start to surface here. On this move up here by this non-commercial light volume move, you are seeing some commercial commercial activity start to surface here in the form of selling. So that makes me a little bit uneasy as we can hold these gains here going into the close, kind of like yesterday's action where we saw it run up and then we saw it fall off here as we got in towards the end of the session here. There's been no cash bids or offers out there really on the live cattle side of things yet, and box beef this morning was down about a nickel on the choy. So like I said, not a lot of news here, but it's been very volatile and very thin volume, Lacey.
Thank you, Kyle. That is livestock market analyst Kyle Bumsted. And if you'd like to talk to him about the markets, call him at 308-708-7340. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.
From livestock barns to cornfields, producers count on an operating line of credit from Farm Credit Services of America to help make their operations more profitable. With multi-year commitment options, digital tools and remote deposit, and the ability to only borrow what you need when you need it, our operating line of credit makes financing your needs easier. Visit fcsamerica.com/line of credit or call 800-884-FARM to learn more. Terms apply. See website for details.
As the leader in bovine respiratory disease solutions, Zoetis knows you need every edge you can get in your fight against BRD. That's why our solution's active ingredients include Josh, and James, and Amy, and Beth, and Mike, and 100+ more professionals with top-of-the-line expertise to keep your cattle and your ROI healthy. Visit ZoetisUS.com/BRD or talk to your veterinarian to get started.
Welcome back to the Rural Radio Network with a check of your markets. I'm Lacey Shippey. A nearly perfect harvest forecast for the central U.S. this week is continuing to put pressure on our markets here today. Ahead of the quarterly grain stocks and small grains summary reports, traders are expecting only small changes. Expectations are for the USDA to raise last year's corn production modestly. Corn harvest has reached 18% complete, just slightly behind average, with the crop rating still 66% good to excellent compared to 64% a year ago. Soybean conditions rose 1% to 62% good to excellent compared to 64% a year ago. And putting lots of pressure on the soy market is the lack of a China trade deal and the potential loss of this year's China sales. Analysts speculate that China's soy demand is likely covered into early December. U.S. winter wheat planting has reached 34% done, up 14% on the week, and spring wheat harvest is pretty well done. December corn is down 4 3/4 at 4.17. March down 5 1/4 at 4.33 1/2. November soybeans are down 6 at 10.04 1/2. January down 7 at 10.22 3/4. Chicago December wheat is down 8 1/2 at 5.11. March down 8 at 5.29 3/4. Kansas City December wheat is down 9 at 4.99 1/4. March down 8 1/2 at 5.20 1/2. Over on the livestock side of things, October live cattle are up 15 cents at 231.47. December up 42 at 234.25. October up 267, or October feeders rather up 255 at 358.75. November up 270 at 356.57. December lean hogs are down 112 at 89.22. February down 102 at 90.85. You're listening to the Rural Radio Network.